Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Master's BAP on console. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that helps out quite a bit, and I really do appreciate that. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, what sort of promos, special events we have going on, including server scrims coming up this weekend. Be on that Discord if you want to sign up for some fun pugs there. Okay, so how's our console Master's BAP gonna do? Good idea. I can live with that shift. Close the angle. Like, this was just great. So, like, cool. Why don't we close the angle a little bit further? Like, finish closing the angle for this reload.
The objective is now.
You want to check to your right? Are we okay to your right? Turns out we are. I don't know. You may be in a bit of a... You guys may be using console. I think you said you were playing against a 4-stack and a GM 4-stack if memory serves. But that's okay. Which suggests to me that you're likely in a stack yourself. But I don't know that.
How about a little extra healing?
I like this less. I was good with the shift in reaction to the halt because it's like, oh, your team is really in some trouble potentially here. This is just no.
Healing?
No. Who's this for? You're at full health. You've been at full health. Like, is this for your Mercy? Was this for your Orisa? It probably didn't even reach your Orisa up there. You really are looking to use mostly your shift. Maybe it's for your Ashe, but like it's not very much healing for your Ashe. And if you really think your Ashe needs help, turn down and aim at your Ashe. And you're going, no, Temporal, I can't because this shot is aimed for my Orisa and I'm shifting for my Ashe. Like, I don't care. I don't care. We're not really looking to use our shift to heal one person, which is really what this shift would do, for 75 HP. Like, that's really not a good use of it. We can use our shift to heal ourselves because it heals twice as much when it heals us, and it's really effective at being a deterrent, helping us stay alive, helping us stay in the fight, be able to contribute. Really good for that. And it can be useful when our whole team is taking pressure and we're, like, rotating tightly with them. Most of the rest of the time, we won't really be with our team that closely, but, like, when our whole team is getting pressure, even if we haven't taken damage, we expect our team is taking damage and it's rolling on lots of people. So that makes sense, but like this is really you shifting to heal one person, 75 HP, who's already being pocketed by Mercy. Not a thing. Jomar Flores is happy to be here. Cool, glad you're here. Val says, off-topic question, does Temporal have a massive stack of student files on how they play, what to do with them, or did you just remember that at the top of his head? I've gone back and forth between my systems. For most of my coaching, for most of my YouTube coaching, we'll call it, I just do that in my head. Sometimes I'll message people on the Discord because like they specifically want, wait, can you put in writing what my things are that I'm improving on, things like that. So then that writing will exist. Otherwise, it's mostly going to be in my head. But I have in the past when working in team environments, etc., done a little more, okay, let's get into this. Let's do this with notes, etc. And I think you'll find that with most coaches where they evolve, they go back and forth, they try different things. They're trying to figure out how to keep doing it better. But like, okay, does the time going and making these notes, are these notes ever going to be referred back to again type thing? Well, no. Okay, well, maybe it doesn't make sense. Are they going to get referred back to one time in 20, one time in 50, one time in 100? Well, doesn't make sense. Okay, well, what if I create them in a different way? What if I make them more general? What if I just make it the big takeaway? Okay, like how does it do it type thing? So like most coaches are constantly trying to figure out what's best, what makes the most sense, or at least early in their time, they're trying to figure out what makes best. And currently for the YouTube stuff, I'm not doing much in terms of taking notes on my students there. I also don't know when a student is going to be a one-off student or where I'm going to have 20 sessions with them. I don't know ahead of time because different students are different. Are you worried he has a file on her and it tracks everything you say and doing it? I don't have a file on you specifically, Val, don't worry. But I do have a pretty good memory. Okay. And we go back to...
Looking good.
This is over, by the way. Like, you can fight them because you're worried about dropping point, but now please just leave. Good. Okay.
You're fully healed.
So, like, I can live with this, but here's the thing. You were like, boom, I'm worried, and you did a good job. You deployed your lamp in such a way that it is hard to break your lamp, and I appreciate that. I do like what you did with your lamp here. But if you set up that lamp that makes it really hard to take you down, why are you now playing back here? Why are you not wandering up here? Yeah, I'm worried a little bit about the Roadhog hook, but like, we don't need to respect our barrier when we have this nice lamp that's really hard for them to hit, to break, set up. Like, yeah, they still may break the lamp, but like, let's get our weave potential. Let's take advantage of the lamp that we have. Let's not just play back. Like, you're just playing back sort of like you're an Ana healing right now, and you need your weave value. You can try to use this barrier, this shield better, but you can also use your lamp, which lets you get even more aggressive. So, like, here you are. Oh no, we're worried. We lamp, we heal him. He's not fine. He's doing take a breather. He's in your lamp. Where's your offensive shot on their shield? Where's your next offensive shot on their shield? Why? Why are we shooting 5 heal shots in a row? Why would we do that? We can have between those 5 heal shots, I mean, if we wanted, we could have hit 10 or even 15 offensive shots without losing anyone into that barrier there. And you wouldn't actually get 15 shots off. The barrier would break first, but that's kind of the point. It changes the state of the battle and causes you to need to heal less. It's fine, the scarf stores information. Hey, what's up? Hey, Danny. Val says, cool, can I ask a temporal make a few concept drawings, like them does positioning diagrams or angles after review? I want to use it as a virtual post-it note on desktop. Can I ask temporal to make a few concept drawings? Potentially, yeah. I'd have to know exactly what you're talking about, but based on what I think you're describing, yeah, that'd be fine. Excited to see Masters BAP. Hope you're having a nice day. Hey, happy you're here. I am having a good day. I hope you are as well. And yeah, let's continue with our Masters BAP review for console here. Again, we look at the shift. Nope. So this is more the second type of shift I'm talking about. It's not the heal you shift, but it's heal your team as you're rotating. If you expect that your team is gonna push into this, gonna try to push through this, you're rolling a HUD on them as 6 people are gonna try to push through, that's fine with me. And I think that's what you think is going on here. Unfortunately, the reality is that's not what's going on here, or maybe fortunately. Your team is instead pushing out to take angles, which is fine. But if they're doing that, we're not gonna roll our shift like this, because we can't very heavily predict that they're going to take damage and most of them are going to get value from that shift rolling, which means we'd rather hold on to our shift ourselves. Okay. Shoot the barrier. Why are you afraid to shoot the barrier?
Let them out.
Okay. Like, why are you afraid of this? You have an Orisa barrier. You can get out here and use your window into your Orisa barrier. It puts you in a little more vulnerable of a position than we like, but like full health Orisa barrier, window, positioning that allows us to heal our Orisa and shoot at the enemy. Whereas what you're doing is just healing your Orisa. You. No, Mercy's got that side handled. Don't worry about it. I don't care. She can handle those while you take your nice damage from over here. Like, and you might be going, but there's no one to shoot at over here. Well, he's about to give you someone to shoot at over here. And if you have to open the angle a little bit more and be like, is there anything I can find? That's not going to be the end of my world. I don't like that window. I don't particularly like the window either.
Come here.
I mean, it was a window that only really threatened this over here, which we really would have preferred a more aggressive window that we could use to go, hey, can we threaten this? And it was also set up in a way where it didn't increase our healing strength on Orisa. But, you know, such is life. Okay, now go take your high ground. Ash has good positioning. I would like you to have it too.
Tactical visor.
It was versus the Sigma who simply left. Yeah, I remember. I mean, we can go back and talk about it again. But here we are.
Heroes never.
No.
Let them.
So here we are. Right, it's for these guys, but like,
Let
you
them out.
just are gonna make it deeper. Because you do this, and I understand it's for these guys, but like, it's not really for these guys, because of course these guys are gonna leave, so it ends up being giving yourself a narrow little bit to try to challenge their high ground with. Like, yes, it's for this, but really what it's gonna be for is this, and we'd have preferred better threat. If we just go, no, we're gonna get a little greedier with our window, and make our window like this, then we still threaten that. It's still usable on these guys, who are always gonna back off, and it's more usable on point as well, because we can swing out and still get value from it, but that's fine. Wave 5 to Sigma? Yeah.
Heroes
Yes,
never
next to the
die.
health pack.
Come here.
So again, you can pop up here with Ash. You're totally fine with that. You can pop up here, heal from here, peek, shoot. Like, we're okay with that. It's not amazing for you because it's like, hey, I have to turn left to heal, turn right to shoot, which is not your favorite as BAP, but you don't really have the option to do otherwise, unless you just want to play pogo stick back here and jump up and try to shoot at both of them. You sort of have to, and the high ground is better than, a wall.
Tactical visor activated.
Okay? That doesn't help him. That does not help him. Your shift does not reach him, just so we're clear.
Regen up. Fully healed.
Haven't seen a Blah review. Is Blah getting secret reviews under a different name? Is Blah actually a Masters Bat player now? Haven't played support in a few months. Is Blah's response? Okay.
Get them off me. Here it comes.
Get over here and bring them.
Which is exactly what he would say if he was now secretly a master. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Attack the objective.
Let me show you how it's done. Get in here.
Okay. Can you put some damage pressure on the enemies? Like 0 damage pressure on the enemies right now, and it's kind of offensive to me. That's not a great shift. That's like the first time you've done damage shots in like 40 seconds. Come on. Is there any reason that you can't weave offensive shots on this Bob while healing your team? If the Bob starts shooting at you, sure, close the angle and go back to healing your team. But the Bob is shooting at your team right now. Just weave some offensive shots at him. No problem. No problem. Or, go here and weave some offensive shots on the Sigma. That would be fine too. Not while they're shifting, obviously, but like, oof. So little in terms of damage shots. You've spent, in this clip that you're now reloading after spending half of it on heals, like, first off, why are you reloading? You have 5 heal shots left, and there's absolutely offensive shots to be taking right now. But, like, you spent 1 damage shot to go with your 5 heal shots. No thank you. Don't heal back to GM Masters BAP? Yes. Oh, a damage shot now that they've put their shift up.
Let them up.
Swing a little bit further and drop the window, and then you get to shoot them and them. Now your influence on the point is a little less than I'd like, but I'll deal. Okay. Better. I don't know why you were like going back and forth out here to heal hog. Like, yes, back up to heal hog, or heal hog and then pivot and look there again. Keep them honest with your weapon play.
Tactical visor activated.
Why? Why are you doing this? Why do you keep pushing up like this to heal them? You don't need to get the angle. Who are you shooting at? The ball? The ball maybe? Maybe we shoot at the ball?
Regen up.
No? One more heal. You gotta find some damage. You gotta. It's mandatory. I don't like that your Orisa hasn't pushed in either. Like, shout at your Orisa to push in more, for sure, so that you can get up here too. But even now, get up here and put a few shots into the Sigma to push them back and then go back to your healing. Or, like, shot into Sigma, shot into your Orisa type thing. Like, giddy up. Go, Orisa. Take space. Totally fine. Their health is totally fine. You're going to shift this. Fine. I don't love it, but whatever. Okay, use the cover.
You all look like you needed some healing.
Oh, yay, we got an offensive shot. Only took us 8 heal shots before we could find an offensive shot. Bap is not just a healer. Like, to get value out of Bap's kit, like, you should be playing Ana. If you want to heal, like, I mean, that's not even right to say you should play Ana, but, like, Ana would be, like, slightly better at what you're trying to do than Bap is. Bap has to get offensive shot value. You have to find opportunities to weave. And there's occasional situations where you just can't, and you just have to be like, I'm going to heal my team from the side, but that is not what is going on here. You have to either change your positioning so that you can do both, or, and part of what would help in this case, you can get on comms and tell your Orisa to push so that you can play from behind her, so that you can shoot both at her and at the opposing team. And you could absolutely have supported your Orisa hard enough for her to push. No question asked here. No autograph for you. Too busy in Owl. I mean, in Diamond. Who was that? I mean, I see that that's Adam, but like, I get an Adam autograph if I guess correctly. You still think Adam is actually an Owl player who trolls chat to hide his identity? Fair enough. Fair enough. Adam says he has never played in Owl and Temporal sucks. I mean, one of those things isn't true, so maybe that means the other isn't true too. I don't know, Adam. I think you're making her case here that you're secretly an Owl player. Usually line, yes. It's where his team's poke is getting absolutely overwhelmed, or when the other team has a massive poke advantage, yes. Which is not true in this situation. The poke is pretty similar on these teams.
Helden sterben nicht. Spotted them. Heroes never die.
Sure.
Let them up.
Sure. Okay, you're weaving there okay. It's not amazing, but you're weaving reasonably, so you have some idea how to do it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so John Aaron shows up and says, "Hi, I'm the Bat player, and this was a game where I felt the pressure they were putting out and was too scared to peek because anytime I did, I got punished, so I stuck to heal botting for the most part, then you're going to lose." And what I mean by that is, like, you'll end up in situations where you feel like, oh, they're beating us 60-40, and I feel bad, so I'm going to cower and shrink and do less damage and do focus instead just on healing, which is just less total output because damage isn't really slowing down your heals. You can get 2 shots off easily between heals, 1 shot off, absolutely no problem between heals without slowing down your heals. So instead of losing 60-40, now it's going to shrink and your contribution is going to get worse, and now you're going to lose 30-70. Like, that's how that's going to work. Now, there's times when, yes, please don't feed. Please don't get eliminated. Please don't peek 1v6. Please don't just, peek when Widow is shooting at you type thing. There's absolutely times like this, but putting more pressure, more damage pressure on the opponent causes the fight to go faster, causes the opponent. Let's say the opponent is thinking like you, for example, and they go, oh, well, I as Ana get to take less offensive shots because my team is, it's too hard, there's too much pressure, so I have to do more heal shots. Well, that's good. Like, if you're doing more damage shots, and because it actually doesn't cost you anything to do damage shots, and it does cost something, there is an opportunity cost of her heal shots there, and like she gets to do less damage shots and has to do more heal shots because you're getting damage out. If you don't put pressure on there, she gets to do more damage shots. And I'm just doing this as a microcosm of the things back and forth here, but it exists in a serious way. It's the same thing when you're shooting at a Reinhardt, for example. Reinhardt gets to do less offensive swings if his shield is under pressure, if he's taking more damage. Sigma gets to stay in the open for more aggressive angles and positions for less time if his shield is under pressure. If he's in less aggressive positions and angles, well, he's going to do less damage to your team, and you're going to have to heal less. Like, this is a cascading effect that you run into, and I promise you're not doing enough damage this round, and you have to do more damage. And you can either adjust your positioning, or you can ask, demand that your team goes and pushes and takes more space for you. Like, those are or you can change your peak timings. You can go, I'm specifically going to have peak timings where, okay, now the opponent should be looking at my hog on point, so now I'm going to peak, even past my Orisa shield, and go do work, because the opponent should be staring at my hog type thing. But you have to get more damage done than this. Baptiste is such a bad healer compared to Ana in terms of sustain. Not really. I got good at Bap when I started playing him like a DPS that can heal rather than a healer that can DPS. I could see that. Shade XMC says, greeting Tim Sorrell. First time catching your live stream. I was your silver Ana player from last night. Happy to see you here. Happy that you could catch the stream as well. If you have any questions, you can throw them up in chat, and I'll do my best to respond to them. Val says, at Adam, it's okay. I get it. You're not allowed to admit it. How about after you win the world championship, you send the autograph to Temporal and he forwards it to me. I'll pay for shipping. Why do I have to be your middleman? Come on now. Okay, that's fine. Is Adam going to write "Believe in yourself"? P.S. Temporal sucks on the autograph. Okay, well that would be funny. But now I bet Adam will show us Diamond Review on Ult's account just to hide his main. Okay. That's what I would send if I was an OWL player, but I'm not. I have never played an OWL. Nope, not me. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, back to our BAP review here.
You are advised to move behind my barrier.
All better.
Fine. It's not amazing pre-healing. Like, you're not pre-healing anything, you're just forcing yourself into a reload. Damage, heal, fine. Reasonable shift. Go for your cover, don't stay in the open. You're about to get flanked hard. Okay. Okay, that fight was better. And I'm sure you're like, but I was okay because my team didn't fall behind on health, so I had time to do damage. Right. And if you do damage early in fights, if you really focus on getting damage out there, you'll notice your team, takes less damage, which makes it easier to heal them. It's important. It is. Okay. What I mean is you don't have the burst healing and it does his BAP right. I agree. Nade is a pretty big deal. And yes, his heals distribute a little differently too. He's got the AoE and has the higher total value per shot for a single person. So if you want to shift here, you do have my permission. Good. Okay. What? No. So close. Damage. Damage. Heal. Damage. Damage. Or no, I don't know why that was a single damage. That could have easily been a double damage. Even if you don't know exactly what you're shooting at, look at what's left in your clip, and this is pretty normal for what's to be left in your clip. You can just sort of shoot through your Rhine going, I don't know if I'm hitting headshots, I don't know if I'm hitting body shots, I don't know who I'm hitting, but there's someone over there that I'm going to hit. So there should have at least been a second, if not a third weave here for a damage shot before your next heal shot, for sure. And then you break my heart, and you immediately go for another heal shot again, and another heal shot again.
I'm on fire.
You were totally fine to shoot at that soldier. Not a shift. Not a shift that you use. Okay, you need to figure out where your cover is going to be. Because hit scan are about to open this angle and you know it, and is your plan to drop to low ground? I mean, that's okay, I guess, but I'd really prefer your plan was to get over here. You can still get Reinhardt with your right clicks from here and put left click damage on them. Where are you rotating to? Like, there's a bad situation that's about to unfold. You jumped? No. You just gave yourself a chance to get eliminated. You just gave yourself hang time rather than just falling off. No. Shift, yep.
You all look like you needed some healing. Bad guy.
Fine. There's offensive shots there. There's an offensive shot on that hog you can do no problem. Okay.
Let them out. Get in here.
You're going to want that one back.
How about a little extra heat?
Not a great shift. Oh, we have a super chat coming in, $2.99 from Adam Nicholas saying, I've never played an owl, plus Temporal is a bad coach. Thank you for the super chat, Adam Nicholas. I do appreciate that. You know, there's some lies contained in that super chat, but I do appreciate the super chat for $2.99 from Adam Nicholas saying, I've never played an owl, plus Temporal is a bad coach. And Blah says that wasn't even close, and that's in reference to the lamp with the Reinhardt charge that was never going to work. This fight is over, so I'm not too worried about you being out here. You should have gone to point rather than try to challenge the pocketed Ash out here, but I'll deal.
Uncanny attitude positive now.
My lamps are 0 to 10. Okay, but how are your nades, Azana? That's the real question. Rest of my bat play is darn good. Okay. Still wasn't a shift. I promise the right click, not the shift, is the solution. Nor is the solution both.
You're fully healed.
Your nades actually improved massively. I was just rusty. Good! Happy to hear it. Sure. Okay. This is constant, by the way. I know.
I'm on fire.
His nades hit 6 people every time. Why not 11? Why aren't his nades hitting 12 people every time? Is Temporal Autograph going to say, don't you dare, or you're done, you can't be here? Maybe this is not a thing. So, this window's early. You look at this.
Let them up.
It's a tiny bit early. The Reinhardt is partially rotated in. They're at 81%. I would have liked you to delay this just a touch more. If the whole team was stacked with Reinhardt, maybe, but the team isn't really rotating with Reinhardt. So there's actually some delay. This rotation isn't serious yet. And now it's a little too easy for them to back out, which they do. And they're just going to wait out your window. And your window gets some value. It delays their push. It softened up their Reinhardt shield a bit. But it's not going to stop them.
You all look like you needed some healing.
Just press X. Yeah. So now you use what was your only ult. You'll have Visor though, so we'll pretend that you have Visor, and they're gonna push in with their 3 ults, and they're gonna flip this. Like that's just how this works. Again, you just needed to delay that just a little more. Not necessarily because of the cap percentage, though the cap percentage helps, but particularly because you needed it to look a little more like they were serious about trying the rotation. You don't want them to get too deep in the rotation before you pop your window, but you need them to look a little more serious about the rotation. And it just didn't look very serious when Soldier was hanging back and it was really only Reinhardt that was in. Okay, I don't care about McCree. He's got a mercy pocket. Go forward and shoot things. Like, turn and shoot things. Oh! Good. Push in already. Push in. Rotate over here so that you can operate through your Reinhardt. Rotate over here so you can operate through your Reinhardt and line of sight the hog. Okay, well this could be tough. Actually, I'm not sure if I wanted temporal autograph. It's going to give me nightmares. I would look at it and think, sorry. Being a failure. I'm not that harsh. I'm a little harsh. I'm not that harsh. Adam says I'm going to become really good at the Hail Mary nade that saves your tank at 1 HP and turns the fight around. There you go. Is that going to be your call to glory there? Of course, he never thanks you, even though you threaded the needle to get him. Fair enough. The May voice line, yeah. So can we just leave? I have become very good. Good! I'm thrilled to hear it. I want to see you thread that needle with those nades. At throwing those? Oh, nice.
All better.
I'd rather you be too harsh than too soft. I generally make that, I don't know that I'm too harsh, but I am on the harsher side, especially when dealing with higher level players than some reviewers. Just leave. Just wait. You're not going to push yet. Like, they just took out your Reinhardt. I know they're at 85%. You're not going to get your Reinhardt back in time necessarily, though you could, but you're at least going to wait until he's close so that you minimize the amount of time that you're forcing a 5v6 before he rejoins and it becomes a 6v6. This is not what we want.
Get in here. Let them out.
Heroes never die.
And now you've poured everything into this fight. This could be very challenging. Yeah. Too early. Hope to catch more of your stream shortly, but I went 7-3 today. 7-3 today to a season high. And after your review last night, keep up the good coaching. Nice! Congratulations. A lot of my shift usage revolves around me not trusting my other support, in my opinion. Well, it's still wrong. And that's not even true. Like, that's not what's going on. You're using your shift because you're, like, how do I want to put this? Stop using your shift to heal other people unless your whole team is surrounding you and under fire, and usually that only means when you're rotating. Don't use your shift to heal one other person. Wouldn't even recommend using your shift to heal 2 other people. Use your shift to heal yourself. Don't use your shift because, oh, we're taking too much damage and I need right-click plus shifts. No, use your shift to heal yourself, or use your shift to heal like 3+ people that are all around you that are missing health or are very, very predictably going to take damage. Like they got halted, like you're pushing through a rotation that the enemies are definitely pressuring, that sort of thing. Okay.
Buckle up. Disco is loaded. Nothing to worry.
Ready.
Okay, let's see what we can get at around 3 here in terms of moving around your priorities, because right now we are looking at really making sure we can keep the weaves in that we're missing a lot in most of the first round. Potentially upgrading your window placement as well as your shift usage for sure. Why? Lamps might make the list. Like, he's fine. What's this? Like, you threw that lamp there sort of knowing he was fine. He has a full shield. He didn't even go below half health. We don't need this. Are you going to get aggressive off this lamp? Are you communicating to your Ryan, like, your lamp, go, go, go? Like, this is not a great lamp. May also says moo. Okay. Ha! Look at Temporal's headset. No drip. Very basic. He's not worth listening to. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. Think you would be more apt if Arissa said it. Fair enough. In a situation where you would fall behind on heals, would it be wiser to use shift or lamp to catch back up? So lamp, shift isn't going to catch you back up. Like, that's just real. And you're not using lamp, though, to catch back up. You're using lamp to save everyone's life. Like, I don't really think of lamp as catching back up, though I suppose you could think of it like that. I think of lamp as, hey, it's lamp. It's immortality field. They're literally immortal. It's possible that while my lamp is down, because a bunch of people are missing health and we're all there, that I'm going to shift if I'm in it and I'm playing BAP. But, like, lamp is the better answer to your question, though I don't really think either are perfect answers to your question. Remember, you can win the fight with everyone at 1 health, and that's still a win. It's not exactly what I'm recommending, but like, if you're falling behind, yeah, you can go, okay, I'm going to keep healing, I'm going to keep weaving. Like, you can't heal faster by going like, oh, I'm going to hit more heal shots. You can still weave. Now, when you do get people to like sub 30% health, you do tend to go, I just can't afford to miss any heal shots. I can't afford to delay any heal shots, so I won't weave because maybe my flicking the crosshair back and forth will happen type thing. But as soon as you get them stabilized back up to like 40, 50% health, you better believe you're back to weaving. At Temporal, when your team wins contenders matches, how often you get asked for autographs compared to the players? I mean, autographs are really a when playing at events thing, and outside of like coaches get asked less than players because the ecosystem, like the entire Overwatch ecosystem, promotes player visibility over coach visibility. Coaches are not totally invisible, but compared to players, coaches are pretty invisible. Like, we put player face cams up there in Overwatch League. We promote stuff based on players. During matches, during like half times, coaches are talking to players, but we're not really seeing the coaches that often. The infrastructure or the system that is Overwatch does tend to promote player visibility more so than coach visibility. And that's actually not great if you're a coach, if you actually understand how this stuff works, because what drives a lot of salary type stuff is how visible, how much fan engagement, how much, things, how much people care about, how much people know it. Yeah, so like that's not great, but that is the ecosystem, and that doesn't have to be that way. In some sports, the coaches get a lot more attention than they do. Like in football, the coaches get more attention than most of the players do. So yeah, there's calculations to be had there. Some of that is based on how the sport works and how much influence a coach has. Some of it, at least during game time, not all of it. But some of that is just how the viewing setup has been set up. Okay. But you get asked for autographs less as a coach than as a player, but that doesn't particularly bother me. You should super chat him $20 so he can buy an RGB headset. What are the number on shift healing per second and for how long? Maybe you should, blah. I don't want to support your false coach. I will never give him $1. Oof, that's rich. RGB cat ears headset, new intro. No. Can't give him money till it goes to Patreon. Thank you, blah. Thank you. He promises soon. Yep. Soon. Hey, my soon is better than Blizzard soon, guys. That's not saying much. It's not like I want you to get better or anything, Baka. Okay. So, here we go.
Get inside.
I can live with that one. A lot of people were missing health. Before Overwatch 3, Tempora will be on Patreon. It's true!
Regen burst activated.
Okay, you gotta get window before the rotation. You need to get window, like right now.
Step right.
Okay, he used lamp instead, buys you, or he used...
Light them up.
No. So... Let's go back.
Get in here.
Don't fall for this trap. Oh good, you didn't. On one hand, I like that your window is threatening multiple lanes here. I do. You're threatening from this lane into this lane, and you're threatening from here into this lane. Like, I do like that, actually. This window gets some, what we'll call multi-lane value, even if both of the lanes it's threatening really are the same lane. We're going to call this multi-lane value, because it becomes two lanes as the opponents get closer, this lane and this lane. So we like that. My issue is the opponents are really to the part that is cover against the window. If the opponents were back here, sure. If the opponents were here, maybe, though you'd have probably tilted your window harder if they were like that. But, like, with them here, they're effectively behind the cover already. And, like, it's not, like, terrible as a window, but here's your window, and look, both of your opponents are behind the cover. Not really what we were looking for. Oh, we can just sort of barely maybe reach him? No. These windows are painful. Right. My issue is that you're trying to teach me stuff, but you don't have a Ferrari. I understand. That makes sense. So maybe focus less on windows and more on Ferraris. I understand where you're coming from, Adam.
You are fully healed.
Here I am talking, Overwatch reviews. Here I am talking finance stuff. And the problem is I'm not going like fake YouTuber, pretend to have, lavish lifestyle with Ferraris and super mansions and everything like that. That's the problem. I understand. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out, Adam. Okay, check left. You can't, I want you to get damage, but you can't just stare forward this whole time. You do need to check on your team. You are still a support.
How about a little extra heal?
Angle. Why did you push forward there? Better.
Heroes never die. Hungry stagnant.
Tactical visor.
Okay. Damage shot?
Let me show
Yeah.
you how it's done.
Like, there's not really a reason for you to be caught by this is the thing. Because, like, we wanted to go, oh, I'm shooting this way? Cool, then I'll keep this between me and the other lane. Like, if you're shooting this way, you keep this, you keep cover. You don't stand here where you're open to multiple directions. You can't shoot in multiple directions at once. So you don't stand here. You stand back here because you only, you want cover against that extra direction. Like, that's just a general principle of... That would be very similar to if you were here and you'd go, I can see one opponent, I'm good, I can shoot at my one opponent. I'm not going to stand out here where 3 opponents can see me because I can only shoot at one at a time. Temporal, 27 minutes. What's 27 minutes? I don't know what that's in reference to.
Uncanny attitude
Oh,
positive.
is that the problem, that my reviews aren't that perfect length of 27 minutes? Okay. Yes, please grow as an individual and purchase a Ferrari that's not sponsored by Ferrari or Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Oh, you just want me to read sponsorships now. Okay. But if you truly made a lot of money, you won't buy a Ferrari, you would buy a car that is no fun to drive, but hire someone to drive it for you while you sit in the back. Yeah, I mean, you actually can do some of those things, hold their value well enough that they actually don't lose much. And it can make sense to go into super nice and super high-end, super nice cars because they hold value better than more regular cars. But that's weird. Generally, yeah, you don't want to be like, oh, blow your money on nice cars, spend money on that. You want to spend your money on assets that make you more money.
Fully healed.
And if you are going that route of, hey, get a collector style car that holds its value, you do, of course, have to take care of it.
Regen burst activated.
No high value car will hold its value if it's being driven daily. That's true. That's true.
Touchdown. Touchdown.
Why are you walking across like this? Like, this was an interesting rotation to make without your shift. Okay.
Let's get you back in the fight.
Pick yourself up. Trust yourself. Get inside.
So you get res.
Get inside.
Yeah, that's just life. Deal. Yeah, I mean, you effectively need... It doesn't even have to be one of a kind, but it does have to be serious collector, not just, oh, it's a nice name brand. Like, actual serious collector that we're getting into. Why are you pushing out here? Like, we look at this. That's fine. Like, high noon's happening. We don't like that, so we'll take cover. Sure. Okay. We can heal our Rhine from here, or we can wait till our Rhine pushes. Why are we here? Why are we here? Here we had the option to control cover. We could be like, oh, I can shoot at the opponents, I can shoot at my Rhine, I don't like that I'm getting shot at, I close the angle. My Rhine is pushing, that's a distraction, I can push out, I can heal my Rhine, I can shoot through my Rhine at the opponents, it's good. There's not a reason for you to rotate through here in mid, like, at all. Have more negative space than this. Don't go here. You're, like, totally just stuck now. No, and you can have thrown your lamp at your Rhine from where you originally were. You did not need to be here in the open.
That Could have gone.
Cars lose durability when you don't use them too. That's true.
I'm with you.
Amplification matrix ready.
Ash here.
Amplification matrix ready. Prepare to fire.
Ash here.
I see this chat is full of non-Ferrari havers while I play Overwatch while I'm driving my Ferrari at an owl level. There you go. There you go. Okay, so did we just lose everything going in too early? I mean, you have to window anyways because this is last fight.
Get in here. Light them up.
Yell at Reinhardt to push through that.
How about a
Yell
little
at him to
extra?
push through that. Yeah. Okay, so the 3 things for you to work on to get the most value are what I thought they were going to be, and what we're going to cover here. The one that you will find the least controversial, I expect, is your shift usage, though it's not the most important. Your shift usage really needs to be for self-healing, like you're healing yourself, and you can say, oh, I use my shift because I don't trust my other support. That's fine. I don't mind if you're shifting yourself because you don't trust the other support to heal you. There's times when you should let the other support heal you, but like that's kind of generally the best use of BAP's shift, self-healing. Trying to heal other people is less good with BAP's shift. You can heal if you're healing a large number of other people with your shift, or you have a very high expectation that multiple of your teammates are going to take damage, you can even pre-roll the shift. But I really want you getting like 3+ people. Do not be trying to heal one person with shift. Do not be trying to catch up on healing. Like, it's really not very much healing. It's 75 healing versus if you hit someone with a direct right click, it's 20. Like, it's really not that much healing for like, oh, this is going to be the difference to it. I'm not saying there's never a situation where it's right, where it's the breakpoint, etc. But considering what you give up, it'll help you out an extremely small amount of time to try to heal one person with shift. And it'll leave you vulnerable while your shift is on cooldown for a Tracer to come deal with you, for a McCree to challenge you, those sorts of things. Like, your shift is very valuable to you and kind of meh to everyone else, unless you're getting a lot of people with it. So that's going to be the first thing. I hope that's not too controversial for you, but if you have questions about it, by all means, let me know. The second thing we're going to get to is you did a better job with your weaving, but you have to get out of the mindset that you had on Sanctum and that you illustrated that you had of like, oh, we're losing, so I have to heal more. Like, yes, as the fight goes on, you do tend to, as BAP, if you're losing the fight, end up healing more than you were at the beginning of the fight, but it's especially important at the beginning of the fight and anytime that things look relatively stable that you do get in damage where appropriate. You do find those weaves. And if you're finding that you consistently, for multiple fights in a row, really can't get very much damage off, you have to change the situation. You have to change where you're positioning. You have to change where your tanks are playing. You have to go, hey, maybe I'm going to go for a silly flank play, but you have to change the situation. I'm not seriously recommending the silly flank play. Maybe. There's times when it makes sense. But you like have to change it. You cannot be like, oh, well, I'm just going to continue to play BAP as a heal bot unless your team is just massively getting out poked, in which case the heal bot phase shouldn't last very long because your team should quickly try to run over or dive on the other team. And once they've run onto the other team to brawl or have dove them, then you open the angle and get to contribute anyways. So, like, you can't take extended poke wars where you're not getting to poke. You can't have your team having poke fights where you don't get to poke. Like, that can't be a thing. You have to change your positioning, even if it means walking up and standing next to your Orisa. That's not good. You should instead tell your Orisa to push forward. Even if it means leaving your Roadhog at half health, get some shots in. That's fine. You got to get your shots in, and it should primarily be done with weaving, and it should primarily done through positioning changes. But when that's not on the table, you tell your tanks to move. Tell them to push up. Say, I'll pocket you. Push, push, push. You know, like your Orisa absolutely could have moved, just as an example that we focused on there. And then the third thing that we get into is your window usage. And I don't want to tell you any one thing about your window, instead, because your windows are kind of varied in what they need. But in general, your principles of window are you want a window when the other team is committed to rotating in, but before they're more than halfway in. So it's like expensive. It's going to cost them something to leave. You have a very good chance of breaking a Rein Shield and getting an elimination if they change their mind and try to leave off of it, but they're also, if they rotate into it, going to get floored as well. So that's what you're looking for. It can be hard to get that timing perfect, but that's what you're looking for. So when they've started the rotation, when they've committed to a rotation as a team, and that doesn't mean all 6 of them have to be with the Rein, but the push is real, and they're not yet halfway. If you try to put the window up when they're halfway or more, it's generally going to be too late. You didn't get enough value. That's not saying you won't get any value, but that's sort of the perfect spot. They're committed to the rotation, but they're less than halfway. You also would like to threaten multiple lanes with your window. You would like your window to have a good threatening area. I don't mind if part of your window is blocked by a physical object, but you want to threaten multiple lanes with it, and you want your angle wide enough that you can threaten, again, a lot of space. You can threaten a lot of the opponent's space. Like that Sanctum window you had really didn't threaten very much space. It's like, well, you've sort of got the high ground and you've got the area over by that mini. Well, that's not a ton of relevant space on the map. So that's sort of what we get into here, where it's like, no, we want to be able to threaten the high ground and the area part on the other, the point part, the control point on the other side of the map. We want to be able to threaten this whole point, and we can potentially do it. Hey, we can threaten this point, we can threaten this side, maybe we can even threaten over here type thing. This can potentially make sense as a window, but not when they're already most of the way through and are here and have cover against it. So that's sort of what we're looking at. Like, that's what we're doing. We want our windows to be, they've started the rotation, we threaten relevant and important parts of the map, preferably we threaten multiple lanes. And, we don't need every window to be a 6-man. Our whole team can use a window. It's perfectly fine to take greedy personal windows that just increase your damage and healing. That is perfectly fine. Don't worry too much about stacking for them. And yell again at your tanks. Communicate with your tanks. Yell at your Reinhardt to push past your window. You don't want him staying at your window with you. You want him on the other side of it where you're healing him for more, where he's keeping himself and his opponent and your opponents in your crosshair. That's what you're looking for. So that's what I'm going to give you here. I do want you to work through these one at a time with like 5 to 15% of your brain power for like 10 to 50 games, something in that. On each one at a time. What you're trying to do is you're trying to stay conscious of it, keep some of your brain power on it, but not be like totally focused on it where it hurts the rest of your play too much, to sort of build this as a habit. That's what you're doing. You're stacking good habits that you've built of the right way to play the game on top of each other. And as you stack enough habits, that frees up more brain power, lets you do more other things, lets you automatically and more quickly react well in situations. So we're trying to build a habit, focus on one thing at a time for like 10 to 50 games. How much you need to do, how long you need to do it is really going to depend on you as an individual person. Different people learn things, different people internalize things at different speeds. And this isn't about like learning it conceptually. This is about internalizing the habit so that you can just do it. There's not always time to be thinking about everything. You need to make more of this stuff habit so that you have time to think about other stuff in the match. Okay, that's going to do it for the review portion. If you guys have any questions, you can throw them up in chat now. If you would like to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Speaking of which, in the Discord, we do currently have the server scrim schedule up. If you would like to participate in the pugs that we will do for our watchers, for our members of the Discord, do make sure to join that Discord. You can see what times we're offering this weekend. Select the ones that would work for you. We'll finalize in on one there, and we'll host some pugs, and they're going to be a lot of fun. Okay. So let's see what we've got for chat here. Thank you. No problem, Jonah. Hope you got value out of it. Okay. Watching this review sure makes me hungry. I'd really like a pizza made with fresh, never frozen dough and 100% all natural mozzarella cheese made with better ingredients. Honey, order us some papa. Okay, so, Adam wanted the ad read there, and I guess I was feeling generous, or I guess I went, hey, Adam did do a $2.99 super chat earlier, so I did an ad read for him. Works for me. Cars are a consumable that loses durability each time you use it. Conceptual value goods will always beat physical attribute value goods. No. Some physical value goods are physical value goods that produce other goods, like manufacturing. Unless by physical value you mean to specifically exclude those. I'm going to hesitate on that one. Cars lose durability when you don't use them too. Yep. Air and sunlight are bad for them. Papa John's is a lie. They fired Papa John. Okay. Most L players are Korean. I'm not sure they have Ferraris either. Fair. Val says yes. enthusiastically. Replace temporal curtains with ads, install a green screen, and play ads. Could be good. Could be good. I think we need to like increase the viewership to make the ads reach more people, to make the ads, like a real thing. Like, yeah, yeah. Like, ad rates are not going to be very good for stuff in the video right now. I mean, ad rates for like the stuff that's included in the ads that autoplay, for example, are fine because those are just buy views, etc. But like, if I am going to go, hey, there's a Papa John's back there, or there's a, I don't know, Fruit Loops back there, or there's a Apex Legends or whatever back there. Like, if we're doing anything like that, like we'd like to increase our broadcast, increase our viewership, grow a bit more to make that more impactful. All players don't drive. They live in a basement in order to take out. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're not representing Mayhem's bus driver there. But someone would eventually buy an ad that's put cat's ears on him with a massive flashing. No questions asked. We want to make sure. Okay. The real MVP is the team manager. Puts cat ears on Valzana. Okay. Temporal can't afford a heater, and all you care about is pizza parody. The audacity of some people. I mean, why would I need to afford a heater? I have a computer, guys. Like, computers are space heaters. What can I say? The scarves remind me of the days when Doctor Who was good. I'm not in a hurry to see them go. Fair. It did get worse. Temporal talks, and all I hear is, I'm a nerd. Give me a wedgie. I'm a nerd. Nice, Adam. Off-topic question. How does Temporal feel about McDojos, where the fighting skills they teach you is useless and everyone gets a black belt? I mean, I don't like them. No dojo challenge equals no tested ratings. Well, I think like the days of dojo challenges, the days of like serious dojo challenges were like, oh, we're going to challenge you for the honor of your dojo are probably over. But I think dojos should be expected to I think many dojos should be expected to compete in some level of competition. I don't have like a strong stance on that, but I think it's good. I think also it's enjoyable and fun to compete. To maybe you're sending maybe you're sending children, teenagers, adults, whatever. Dojos tend to train. I mean, they're varied, but like they do tend to train children more often. But what you're looking at that is, competition between dojos is good, where you send them to tournaments. Maybe they're tournaments for just sparring. Maybe they're tournaments for grappling. Maybe they're tournaments for... But, like, I think tournaments are good, and that does help establish parity, quality, etc., of like, can you actually keep pace? But I also think, we've seen too much of a rise, or did historically see too much of a rise of sort of the like, okay, well, you've been here this many sessions, you've given us this much money, so now you move on to this belt. You've been here this much, so now you move on to this belt. And they've also really condensed down the speed at which that some people can get black belts. Like, I'm comfortable, obviously, with having a black belt because I know how much I did. I know what I could do. I know what I can do against resisting opponents, etc. But you've definitely seen people where it's like, this person got their black belt in 3 years. Are they a prodigy? Because if they're not a prodigy, what are they doing with a black belt in 3 years? That's not a thing. Once you get to the level of black belt and you get to like the multiple ranks of black belt, there tends to be a bit better of a job because it's really frowned upon to self-promote of doing like, okay, well, you have to go find someone. Like, it tends to get enforced a little higher at the black belt level of the first, second, third degree. Again, unless someone is self-promoting as the master of their own style, which is just garbage and everyone recognizes it mostly as garbage. Though in some places it came from a place of necessity in the past, but mostly we're not coming up with new serious styles. I don't want to get too much into that. I'm not a huge fan of the practice, Val, but I think you knew that. I'm not a fan of the practice of like, oh, well, it's been enough time or enough money, and here's the hyper accelerated track to get a black belt. That's not really good, but it probably wasn't good that we inflated people's grades in schools too. It used to be like the average grade was a C, and now the average grade is much closer to that A territory. And professors and teachers get strongly encouraged to not give out any Fs. Like yeah, similar issue. Well, can I play the pugs? Yeah, you can play the pugs, Adam. Parody says, question, if I'm mercy dueling with a BAP and he puts up a personal window, should I keep damage boost him or pistol through the window? Probably you're going to damage boost him because you can do so more safely. I don't mind if you pistol through the window. It's technically better damage if you pistol through the window, but you, again, get the usual mercy benefits of, like, you can have safety while damage boosting someone who's opened an angle while keeping the angle closed yourself. And you also can react more quickly to helping someone else out with your staff and all that. Legal and financial YouTubers get the most money per view because their demographic is a more valuable ad target. Yep. Blah wants a black belt. It might be simpler to just order one from Amazon instead of going to a dojo. Yeah, that's true. Val says, when would Temporal show us a fighting technique video in case we need to fight our way out of a PC bang? I mean, I'd really have to change my setup, use different equipment to do that. Like, I could teach some grappling. We could go, hey, here's my other channel where we're going to go over, let's do some jujitsu, let's do some of this. Like, that could be fun. But again, I've talked about making second channels before, and it really doesn't make sense to do so until you're big enough that you can guarantee that that second channel is basically immediately going to have multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like, it really doesn't, and obviously we're not there. Because there is work in maintaining separate channels, and you also, as much as I still do this sometimes, don't usually want to do too many different things on one channel. I think the total damage is higher with two shitters because Baptiste is a hit scan. But because Baptiste is a hit scan, it's probably closer than you think. Yeah, the total damage theoretically is higher, but yes. You're more likely to be getting the damage with BAP. The problem with McDojo is they believe in the teacher, and when they do get in trouble, their skills would fail them. Yeah. They throw their belt at the enemy and run away. Okay. Adam Nicholas. Adam is going to play with his eyes closed to hide his L skills. Okay. You'll play with your nose. Okay. Speaking of that, are you going back to HD streams at some point? Ooh, you stealthily got that reminder there. I expect so. I still don't know exactly what happened there, but yes. That might be a YouTube side thing of YouTube changing what it decided my qualities were. But yes, I will. That's still on my list. Temporal need the heater first before getting back to the HD webcam. Again, don't need the heater. Computer has plenty of heat. He lives in California. He doesn't need a heater. Also true. Cold is 60 degrees Fahrenheit there. I think you mean comfortable. Fair and reasonable, but it doesn't give me another excuse to pistol. Okay, that's going to do it. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. I know we can get a couple more likes there, and I would appreciate that. Thank you, Adam, once again for the $2.99 super chat. And if any of you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff.